Hello everyone! So Splitgate 2 is getting relaunched in just 2 days as Splitgate Arena Reloaded. And I was fortunate enough to be able to playtest it early and was given the ability to talk about my impressions of it and the details about it. However, today is the first day that myself and many creators are officially able to show you guys any footage. So enough of this intro, let's get right into business. First thing I'll be discussing will be the Battle Pass. Now, it's different compared to Splitgate 2 now, as it no longer is split to 3 parts for the season. Instead, it's one whole part for your usual rate of 10 USD or 1k split coin. For the first time ever for Splitgate, we now have a Battle Pass that consists more than 100 tier rewards, upwards to 115 tiers. To make progress for tiers 101 to 115, you first have to complete and collected the original 100 tiers. If it states for Unlock Con that is part of a Battle Pass epilogue, then that means they're part of tiers 101 and beyond. On top of that, there's an Ultra Pass version that costs 20 USD, which you can get right away or upgrade from the regular Premium Pass. To compensate players if they decide to upgrade into it, since it will still be the same cost of 20 USD, you will be granted an additional 1000 split coin return towards your account if you were to upgrade. This image shows what is obtainable if you choose not to purchase any pass, versus if you purchase the Premium and the Ultra. With the Ultra Pass, you can get 6 different variants of character skins and 6 different variants of weapon skins for added cosmetic rewards. If you do end up choosing to only opt into the regular Battle Pass with saved up split coin from Splitgate 2, you will be able to. And you will be able to earn enough to save and use for the next season Battle Pass. I really love when games do this for their Battle Pass systems, because you're rewarded for playing their game, and only have to buy into the Battle Pass once, so long that you keep on playing. Now, how you make progress through the Battle Pass, you could do this by just simply playing the game, but if you want additional points to spend on the Battle Pass as soon as you can, there will be a list of specific challenges you could tackle, with huge advancements ones every week being added. Rewards are now auto-claimed, so you no longer have to claim them manually like you have to do from Splitgate 2. Now, as for my favorites right now within the Battle Pass currently, I really dig the Ultra Rustclaw Barrage. Gives that suppressed LMG a very heated look to it. And for the armor skin, I was using the Ultra Tasseria the entire time. It is the closest thing I know of that's related to a Phoenix, and there's no Phoenix related skins yet, so it's either this or Embers. It's like the closest thing to it I feel that you can get to a Phoenix inspired skin, which kind of sucks since they're both locked to paywalls. But that is more of a personal issue on my end, since I typically don't have the luxury to be able to spend cash on onto cosmetics in games, or the desire to overbuying other games I could just save up for instead. Now, for camel skin grinders, you may be happy to learn that there is another tier called Islamic, which will make the guns all bright green and radioactive. Also, it appears that we will have a way to unlock camel armor skins as well, which you can see in my footage that appears that we only have carbon available for right now. Now, what about login rewards? We had login rewards from Splitgate 1, but it wasn't there for Splitgate 2. However, we are getting it back within Splitgate Arena Reloaded, in the form of various of cosmetics and sometimes Prolodium. I really hope that these aren't just obtainable for only logging in constantly for that week, because you can see that they do have a time limit in play to claim them. At the very least, I hope the cosmetics reroll over time in case for anyone missed out or our new players effort launch. They also got weekly challenges that rewards you Palladium, which is very nice because they were scarce during Splitgate 2. Which, speaking of Palladium, it has been completely reworked to be more obtainable, and usual costs will be 100 for skin variants, instead of 10 from Splitgate 2. If you had Palladium from before, it will be converted into the new 10 to 100 system, so you should have an added 0 now at the end of your Palladium count. They also reworked the shop with it, where items purchased with Splitcoin will no longer need Palladium to also get the variants that it includes. And also, they added a standalone Palladium exchange shop where you can earn cosmetic rewards more regularly. And this is basically the drop system, from what I can tell, that we had from Splitgate 1, but it's just like more accessible. With that Palladium change, the feature of mythic skins will now be separated into two parts. One is about the character, with things included like the portal skin and the emote, while the other one, it's all about the weapons. Each of these mythic bundles will be 20 USD, and nothing in the shop will ever be more, and past bundle purchases and individual cosmetic purchases that now cost less will compensate players the differences if they had bought those cosmetics from the past, including Palladium purchases. All cosmetics in the shop are now aligned with Splitcoin packs, and they also added the 100 Splitcoin pack to reduce the amount of unused currency sitting in people's accounts and to combat people having to overpay back during Splitgate 2. A couple of things I'm not exactly looking forward to seeing a return is the referral and recruiting rewards, which in fact are returning. They felt a bit too invasive with the first game, and the window for both players to opt in to receive the rewards was like less than like an hour of playtime. So I really hope they design it in a bit differently this time, otherwise you're hardly going to see anyone with these cosmetics. New additions that Splitgate 2 that came is the career tab. We finally will be able to see the top 100 rank leaderboard and our own career stats. This will also be where we can view our camo skin progression and list of challenges that we can complete. Now, what about the actual game content? What game modes will we have access to play, and how the queue system works? So the playlists are now separated into modes that you can select freely which ones you want to customize and play within the quick play mode. The more you select, the more XP you will be rewarded. But if you don't care about the XP and there's only like a specific mode or a small list that you want to play, you can do that now. Now, as for Battle Royale and Multi-Team, they're currently unavailable at launch, but they had confirmed that they plan on bringing it back very soon. As for the playable modes you can select, they are Team Deathmatch, King of the Hill, Domination, Classic Arena, Classic Takedown, FFA Deathmatch, Split Ball, Arena No Portals, Team Fiesta, Team SWAT, Shy Snipers, FFA Gun Game. And then outside of Quick Play, you will have Ranked Arena. I don't remember exactly if that was like loadouts or Classic. I want to say Classic, but I'm not exactly too sure. What I do know for sure is that it will feature Team Deathmatch, Domination, and King of the Hill. No more Split Ball and no more Firecracker. You won't see those in the Rank Arena. Custom games, Map Browser, Map Creator, aka the Lab, and now the newly added Practice Range are the additional modes, and we will get into the last two in a bit. But for those who played Splitgate 2 early on and may be out of the loop on things, I feel like I need to clarify some things that changes the game quite a bit now, and that is the factions are no more. They have made it so now you can fully customize what weapons, skins, and loadouts you will like to pick freely in all loadout modes, and then anything labeled classic will be even starts, no loadouts. They also added more weapon pickups around the maps. It's not just power weapons. You can find primary with like attachments as well now. Faction abilities were since replaced with automatic pickup, use power-ups. The equipment pool gotten nerfed down to only 5 options now, one of which is the newly added EMP grenade. And there's a couple of portal blocking mechanics now, just as portal overloading, which prevents anyone to use portals, including your team on a portal surface if you place both portals down. And the newly added EMP nades, which are selectable through loadout modes, but also always are given to you on classic modes, which if tossed at a portal wall surface, deletes any portal that's on it and makes it only your team can place portals on it for a limited amount of time. They also added LMGs, which are new additions to the primary weapons, and they brought back the Splitgate 1 railgun. It's just a tad slower this time compared to that game. If you start in Splitgate 2, it's a power weapon that charges up and shoots a deathly beam that will kill a player no matter what, pretty much. And has the possibility to collat if you can line up multiple enemies in your line of sight, resulting into a multi-kill. However, the ammo usage is minimal, and you only get 4 shots of it. Now let's go discuss those 2 modes I mentioned earlier, because there's new stuff to consume from them. Let's start with the practice range. The practice range was built using the simulation style, with stand-in dummies using the default arrows, sabrass, and meridian male and female skins. They also have all the power weapons for you to test out, and the ability for you to change loadouts whenever for you to test out the primary and secondary weapons, the equipments, and perks. How the dummies work, you just kill them, they have like full 100 health, and then they'll just respawn over time. Let's discuss the map creator, aka the lab. I'm only going to discuss what's new since the start of Arena Reloaded rebrand, and first thing I've noticed was a new light option, which is skylight. You can now change the intensity of the light shine down onto your map, and also the color of it. Next thing I noticed was the new addition of secondary weapon pads, which doesn't mean secondary weapons like pistols. It just means that it's a different type for any weapon you design for it. Will have all the weapon mods attachments for it. Also, since faction abilities were replaced with power-ups, there's also power-up pads you can also place down. Let's hope these pads all work at launch, because they were broken in the last state of Splitgate 2. As in, they just simply did not work. The next thing I've noticed was a lot of new building assets that is added. We got arrows props, meridian, sabrass, some stuff you will find from their respective maps, so like the decorations and stuff that you will find on their maps. Miscellaneous props, which is this Wild West theme currently, makes me think we'll see a Wild West map in the future. Who knows? And also there's some new additions to the SSL props. The biggest change, however, is we now have the freedom to change the material of the objects, which grants us so much more freedom on the art direction for custom maps now, meaning you'll see even more variety in the art of maps in the future now. Some are even radioactive, like this one I found called Disco, and my personal favorite being Lava. We finally got Lava, so it's really cool to see that in here now. You can also change the tint of them too. Like, for example, I turned this glacier ice flat block into having some wild looking red cracks into it. It reminds me of something like you would like see like straight from like Stranger Things or something. On some end notes for map creator, I did not see any option for glass yet. Please give us something, devs, for glass in the future. Like maybe like customizable shapes or sizes, and the transparency slider as in like how clear it will be or how tinted it will be, and like which possible color changes within it as well. Like maybe you can make it like a blue tinted glass or a red tinted glass or something like that. I think that would be really cool. I think we will also like to see things like this that you'll normally see on like the existing 1047 maps. I think you guys referred them as grates. Being able to place these on our maps would also help in terms of us being able to make designs in similar use. And heck, I could see it being used kind of like a window with bars even if you flip on the side. So next up is custom modes. That was something that existed in Splitgate 2, but you were unable to save them to use again later, which was a bit frustrating for many of us who made many of them within Splitgate 1, and adds on to more creativity in line of map creator if you happen to want to make something from like for like a unique custom mode. I got some good news on that front. We can now save them, which is a huge W in the right direction. This has been asked for a while now, and I'm very happy to see them finally pull it off. It will be in a separate tab from the rest of the game modes, so you can search exclusively your custom modes that you have saved, for example. And for game modes like multi-team, graffiti, firecracker, and hot zone, and various other modes, you can still play them within the custom games. I did not check if you can for multi-team, but if it's anything like Splitgate 2 before, you know, it got rebranded, because it is built off from the same game, right? There should be some multi-team game modes still within like things like team, like within like deathmatch, domination, and the hot zone variants. Because when you click on those, you'll see a list of like variants in each of them, right? Alright, we're actually gonna get into both music and gameplay of the new maps now. We had some fun matches. Coma and I grouped it up, and two others being SGA Port and Crunchy Sponge 3 eventually grouped up with us over time. We didn't really know them both too well, but we were all chill and we were just having a fun time testing out the game, so we didn't really mind much. I don't think SGA Port is named after the Splitgate fan community I lead, called Splitgate Architects with the same abbreviation. I believe that is just a pure coincidence. I think that might be like some sports related thing that I'm not too well known, right? But the Crunchy Sponge fella, dude, he's cracked, dude. He's really good at Splitgate. There was quite a few times I've seen him with high killed games with us, which really surprised me. Coma actually gotten stuck on one of the maps we played, Terra 13. It was just that one time though, but it was during like a team swap match we had, and I don't know what happened, but basically he wasn't able to move at all, even after respawn. So hopefully this is something that could be fixed at launch, which we did give feedback to the devs on what happened to him, but yeah, I don't really know what the heck happened to him, so who knows if they have a fix for that at launch or not. As for me, I found soft lock into the map Hammerhead. When I was exploring around it for the first time, where you can just get stuck in front of the smaller vehicles, so if you try to go underneath them, I basically had to like talk to the enemy in like you know, the in-game text chat and stuff to like help free me. It was a very hilarious time, and eventually, you know, like they end up freeing me, they end up killing me and got me out of the situation. We communicated that to the devs. One of them said that like there's supposed to be like a kill zone there, so there will probably be a kill zone there at launch. But I thought that was really hilarious. And then another thing I've discovered for myself that I'm sure many of the other creators also discovered that was part of the event was that the thruster behind the main vehicle in Hammerhead has a portal wall hidden within it. So it's basically like designed for possible portal kills on the enemy that you can do. One thing though is that I could see this being really tricky to pull off with only one Florto on the map. Florto being, you know, floor portal wall. That's just, you know, their nickname for it, right? For Oasis, the remake from Splitgate 1, it's practically 1-to-1 as far as I can tell. Just a different coat of paint on it, basically. I thought it was alright, but it was a fun match that we had, going up against Cyberwiz and Warp Sonic, and which was funny because Cyber happened to have been in the call with us as well, even before the match even started. So if you guys would like, I plan to upload that entire match tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. Going back to Terra 13, I don't know how I feel about the map so far. It feels kind of odd compared to the rest of the maps. I think I just need to keep playing it some more to, you know, come up with my own conclusion on that map. So we only played it for like 2 different matches, right? But it does feel like it plays a bit slow, so we'll see more games in the future that I play on it. But Hammerhead may be my personal favorite of the 3 new maps that wasn't in playtest, right? On like how unique it was, given the illusion that the vehicles are moving and that it's basically the whole map is those vehicles, right? They basically trick you by making the ground itself be the only thing that is technically moving. It's a clever illusion, and you could get left behind if you stay on the sand for too long, which is pretty comical. Now lastly, let's talk about the music here. They completely replaced the Splitgate 2 music with new music. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like they could have just kept the Splitgate 2 soundtrack available in some way, at least like make it like playable within the main menu or something. But maybe they just want to go a completely different direction with their music choice, I guess. Which, you know, the soundtrack doesn't sound bad. I actually dig it a lot. And what's interesting is that they got like music popping out a little bit more in this game than compared to Splitgate 2. So like, you know, you got your main menu music, right? But then you got your, you know, your waiting for players music for like when the game's about to start up, right? And you got your startup music, and you got match about to end music, which like crescendos in the closer the match is about to be over, which is a really like neat add-on that I do like a lot. And then the match ended music, which are different. I think it was like this for Splitgate 2 as well, right? That like there's different soundtracks for whenever you win or lose, which, you know, I'll show them off here.
Have we played this map yet?
Interesting combination. We've played
the
this
second
map.
time for me.
Cringy might not have.
I don't think I have. I don't recognize the name.
Up against Kaza.
It looks kind of stick though.
Time for team deathmatch.
This place looks huge.
It kind of is.
Kind of is a bit.
Good triple.
Five points to go. Three kills to go.
Damn, I think it's not recorded, but
Great win. That's the result of hard work and
27,
I
bro.
probably died more than Cody. Probably died like at least 15. 13 times. Goodness.
Como wasn't even in the game half of the game.
yeah.
Como wasn't even in there.
Yeah, whenever I reloaded the game, it said reconnect instead of play.
Oh, you bastard!
Defeated.
I was hoping you would walk back to my portal to get portal kill. I wasn't even trying to get a gun kill on you, I was trying to get the portal kill.
Let's go.
Bro, where's Oasis?
GG's.
Yeah, we only got an hour left. I want to see the Oasis remake. Come on,
Better
man.
hope we get it, Twin. I'm gonna tell you.
For the end of the playtesting, I just basically just sat in the main menu for the last like 10 or 15 minutes so I could record some of this music just by itself for you guys. So, you know, the music you guys are hearing in the background right now is from the main menu. So, and then, you know, this is basically what the main menu looks like. It's very different from Splitgate 2 at launch because you still have like the kind of like the Fortnite-esque style, or you know, like I guess like the finals, or I don't know what other games that does it, like where it just shows the 4 characters and they can emote, right? But yeah, they kind of like remove that, which I don't know. I kind of miss being able to just emote whenever, but it doesn't really work in this type of main menu. However, this main menu does look really cool, I think, when you get all your friends together, because you'll just see them just all pose together, and you know, it'll just do like a 3D like rotation around them, and you know, they're all different poses as well, and I just think I think it's more lively than just them just standing there, right? But again, I do miss the fact that you can't really emote anymore in the main menu. You can still emote at the end screen for matches, but you know, that's just basically about it. Or you can, you know, be cheeky and emote in the match, right? So yeah, those are only just samples of what is to come, and my first impressions has been very positive for relaunch. The only thing I want to see that will continue my hopes up is to see them be able to produce new content for the game at least monthly. I know that was something that they wanted to strive to before all the backlash of like all the factions and stuff like that, and you know, the game wasn't at a state where, you know, not everyone enjoyed, but did have that potential, right? But I do see that potential coming and arriving with this relaunch. I think they're pushing the needle to the right direction, right? But yeah, if they could do that, I think this game will be in very good hands. I know the last video I uploaded before this for this channel wasn't that helpful. It was just me stating I lost some motivation. However, with all the playtests that since arrived since I made that video, that slowly grew my motivation back for the game. Heck, I since hosted 2 more podcasts within our Splitgate Architects community with 2 separate Splitgate MVPs talk about the game, and we even have one planned later this Friday, December 19th at 7 p.m. Eastern. with Splitgate dev Akubo, who I will basically call the gunsmith at this point, because he is basically the guy that's like very hands-on, which like what happens to like all the weapons in the game, right? Like he's the designer of the weapons, from to my knowledge, anyways. I do recall he was very hands-on, so it'll be very nice to talk to him about that, about all the weapons in the game. And for whatever reason he's unable to make it, we'll host a lab customs event instead, where we will play custom maps within the game. If podcast does happen, however, we'll host that lab customs the week after instead. So quick promo here. If you'd like to know the details, join our Discord within the description of the video. And if you want to see re-uploads of the podcast and possible SGA related uploads, right? Give that YouTube channel a follow, which will also be in the description. Also follow me if you haven't yet. The more you guys like my content, the more motivation it gives me to provide more videos for you guys. So yeah, take care. And after the video I will post tomorrow about the entire Oasis match for you guys tomorrow, I will be bringing you guys even more videos for time to come after Splitgate's ready to launch.